Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, and happy Bat Appreciation Day. Well, since it's Bat Appreciation Day, you know who we had to bring along with us today from the Iowa Wildlife Center, Marlene Erzman. Great to see you again.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Lou.
Yeah, and Bat Appreciation Day, some people might say, how can you appreciate bats? But people really should, shouldn't they?
They should, and they do more and more. So
Good.
That's the exciting news.
Now, what is so special about bats we want to convey? What message do we want to convey today?
They're really beneficial. They're super beneficial to humans, actually, in so many ways. And our bats in Iowa, we have 9 species of bats, and they're all insectivorous bats, which means they eat lots and lots of insects. That's all they eat. So yes, they can eat mosquitoes, but a lot of them will eat agricultural pest insects as well. So that's a really big economic benefit for Iowa.
All right, now what the type of bats are the most common in the state of Iowa?
The most common is the big brown bat, and in fact I brought one of our education big brown bats along with me today, and we get 90% of our bats that we get in are big brown bats.
Okay, and what are some? We have some photos here we want to show people too with the big brown bat, and the big brown bat really isn't that big when you say that.
No, it's not, and so they average about 16 grams in going into hibernation. They can weigh 21, 22 grams because they have to bulk up.
There's some babies, they call those.
There are some babies. They can come in weighing 5 to 7 grams at this point. So they're tiny animals.
Okay, and there's other ones too. Let's take a look at the next pictures that we have here. What are those?
That's an eastern red bat. Those are eastern red bat pups. So those are foliage roosting or tree roosting bats in Iowa.
All right, and we have some that are, what is this here now?
That's a hoary bat. That's the largest bat species, also a tree roosting bat, and they're solitary bats, as the red bat is. Unlike the big brown bats, they're colonial, so they all live in big caves and attics and things together.
You see one eating there, and it's eating some gruel, you said there?
Yep, those pups are learning to eat solids by eating a blend of mealworms and formula.
Okay, and something that's really important to your organization too. Look at it, see the teeth on these animals here. Now, what kind of bat is that?
That's another big brown bat.
A big brown bat. And also want to talk about the volunteers that you have involved with the program too.
We have really remarkable volunteers, the only ones that can truly handle rabies vector species like the bat. There are several rabies vector species. That just means they can get it and pass it around. But they all die from it. So we have a lot of really good volunteers, but they have to be rabies vaccinated, pre-exposure vaccinated.
Okay.
Yep.
You're taking a look at one of the wings here now, and unfortunately sometimes they get damaged like this one here.
Right, so we were looking for the fungus that causes white nose syndrome before with the black light. This was a cat-caught bat, and they can really shred the wing, and there was no hope for this little guy to heal.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Now, we have something going on. You can see just some of the thing that's going on, trying to get them off of glue traps, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Don't use these, folks.
Don't use glue traps. They catch lots and lots of things, and they're just inhumane anyway.
Exactly. I totally agree. But this is the enclosure you have. Now, let's take a look at the bat that you brought with you here. We have a little bit of time left here. I want to make sure we give this animal as much exposure as we can, because you have a release coming up for the first time.
That's right.
In about 3 years. There's the big brown bat hanging out with us right now. And he has his mouth open, or her mouth
They're
open.
echolocating and kind of also warning us that it's still a wild animal, even though we've got it on our education permit, and she's been in captivity for, I don't know, 7 years or so.
Okay, echolocating, kind of like sonar that dolphins use, but radar would be the closest thing here that you would be able to compare that to. But that is really neat, and that's one of the really cool traits of a bat, isn't it?
It is. Yep, they're pretty special. Only flying mammal in the world.
Wow. Yep. So how cool is that? But again, please be careful with bats. Do not just kill the bats. They are so beneficial for the environment, and you have a release coming up this spring. People want to get more information about the Iowa Wildlife Center. What's the easiest thing they can do?
They can follow us on Facebook. They can go to our website, www.iowawildlifecenter.org, or they can just call the office and talk to one of us.
All right. Let's go back and zoom in on this bat again real quick as we're going to say goodbye here on Bat Appreciation Day. We so appreciate all the hard work that you do at the Iowa Wildlife Center for all the wild animals in the state of Iowa, and especially saving one of the coolest ones.
And come to our public release.
There you go. We'll give you more information on that as the days go by. See you tomorrow.